Well, I need to think of a video to work on. Well, my Paramount Plus video from last year got pretty good views. I thought, you know what? I want to make different variations of videos talking about media stuff. For this video, I'm going to talk about one of the TV channels during my childhood. Aside from the 3 big kids channels in the years, I'm going to keep it less. For this video, I'm going to start with Nick Jr. So yeah, I wanted to do this video since I wanted to get this topic video out of the way because, I wanted to do it. So now, there are rules with this video. I'm going to do shows that I grew up with when I was very little, and I'm not going to include the new ones as of today. Imagine an angry parent watching my video and being disgraced. I understand, and I like doing videos in my own way, and I'm older. Anyways, let's begin. Nick Jr. is a toddler channel to his predecessor, Nickelodeon. The channel didn't start at first. It collaborated on Nickelodeon early in the mornings only. By 2009, at the same time when Nickelodeon made a new logo, Nick Jr. has begun a channel, replacing the old one called Noggin. So now, Nick Jr. has become a channel. So now let's get to the shows I grew up when I was little. Blue's Clues. So yeah, I didn't put this show up for the 25th anniversary video last year, but I wanted to save it until now. Anyways, this show has been special, even when I was young. Which, I can't say I watched the show a lot more than Rugrats. I know that's false because Rugrats had more airings than Blue's Clues did. Anyways, the show premiered in 1996, and I have to say, that was a great idea to air because I was born in 1995, and then a year later, the show came out. Still, it was an enjoyable show with Steve and the dog Blues looking for clues throughout the show. Even as a kid, I keep seeing the blue paw print for a clue, and a clue collaborates at the end to see what it is at the end of the episode. I remember the jingles, I remember the characters, I remember the preview on the Rugrats movie VHS, I remember this VHS I had when I was little, and I even had the Steve plushie. Stop. My parents had to give me that. By the time when I was 7, I stopped watching Blue's Clues, which, yes, this was when Steve went off to college and then Steve's brother Joe took his place, which I wasn't too fond of Joe that much, so that's why I stopped watching Blue's Clues. The show ended in 2006, which then had a spin-off show, and now Blue's Clues is back as a revival show called Blue's Clues and You with a new host named Josh. The show premiered in 2019, which I'm okay that the show came back, but one problem, I'm already grown up now. I don't watch shows like that. So yeah, that is Blue's Clues. For a Nick Jr. show, this was a great start, and definitely one of my childhoods. And here are a few Nick Jr. shows to round them up, which I have watched them, but not too much. Little Bear. Well, I did remember the show. It was produced by Nelvana, an animation studio from Canada, so I had to include it. It's been a long time since I watched it, and all I remember that I watched less of it. That's all I gotta say. Franklin. Okay, this show I remember watching, but a little. I remember reading the books. So yeah, a little memorable than Little Bear, but it was a serviceable show. Kipper. I remember the show's theme song, but that's about it. Maisie. This one is an interesting memory. I remember going to a library in my hometown picking up the Maisie VHS, and that was the only memory from the show. And I remember the theme song. That's really about it. Little Bill. Yes, I watched the show when I was a kid. Deal with it. So yeah, this was a show I watched before it was outdated with the Bill Cosby situation. So yeah, I remember watching it when they had the Nick Jr. on CBS thing. Moving on with that, here's Oswald. This one I didn't watch much. It came out in 2001, around the time when Blue's Clues was declining, but I'm sure some people grew up with this one. I didn't. Dora the Explorer. This show came out at a fine time when I was almost not watching Nick Jr. much. You may think I don't like this show. If you're right, yes. But come on, I've watched worse shows. Dora the Explorer is just a little obnoxious. First off, I'm okay that Dora is talking directly in front of the audience, similar to what Steve does. that's fine, and I love breaking the fourth wall in TV shows, particularly in animation. I'm just not a fan of these kinds like, will you help find, and not only that, the long pauses. Talk about a waste of time. Sometimes I do this in my own style.
What was your favorite part of the trip?
I don't care.
Like I said, I don't hate this show, but I respect for Nick Jr. to try something different. But man, that show went on for 19 years. They really should have ended when people at my age had moved on from that. But wait, the series is alive, with an animated reboot coming to Paramount Plus, and even a live-action remake. Well, Dora is more popular than Blue's Clues in terms of Nick Jr. So yeah, that's my list for Nick Jr. shows. Yeah, I didn't want to include the modern new ones as of today, or Lazy Town. Yeah, that show became a meme all because of Robbie Rotten. Yeah, I didn't watch it when it came out. So yeah, that is all for the video. Now in the future, I want to do a video on PBS Kids. So that will be up this year. I'll see you guys, and I swear, I'll stop saying next week because I keep delaying my videos. But I will see you guys next video.